Hi, this is Bill, and you are on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we take you aboard one of the largest cruise ships in existence, Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas. Today's video we're going to do things a little bit differently than we have done on some of our other videos. In this one we will, rather than doing a straight top to bottom deck walkthrough, we'll kind of take you through our week on the Symphony of the Seas. The reason being is this is such a large ship that we wanted to give some context as to what you're looking at. So in addition to seeing the entire ship throughout the week, you'll also see things like the Aqua show, the ice show, some clips from the main theater, and a little bit more of the food and restaurant options than we normally show on our videos. And of course, as always, throughout the video and at the end, we will give you our honest opinions on what we thought of the ship, what we liked, what we thought could have been improved, and whether we think the Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas is right for you. So hang on everybody, and we hope you enjoy the video. Boarding the ship was almost overwhelming. This was our first Oasis Class ship, believe it or not, and it is huge. It is hard to describe how wide the entire ship is. We had been on the Wonder of the Seas, but this was a totally different experience. Now, like I said, we were going to jump around a little bit more on this one than they normally do. Try to show you the whole week's experience, as well as let you know about the ship and kind of the way Angel and I cruise. Here you can see we're at Sailaway. Now, here is a pro tip for you. If you are sailing on an Oasis Class ship, there is an area that's directly above the bridge, forward of the ship, that you can walk out onto and basically see the same view that the captain does. The captain is actually just below you. So there's the two wings that kind of stick out, and they are directly above the bridge again, and it is a spectacular place to watch sail away. Now, you do miss some of the stuff in the sail away party, but this was absolutely amazing, and this will be Angela and I's spot going forward whenever we're on an Oasis Class ship for sail away. Cruise ships always provide some very interesting and unusual experiences. Here we are on the Rising Tide Bar. The Rising Tide Bar is essentially a very slow-moving elevator that goes from the main deck in the Royal Promenade, Deck 5, and slowly goes up and down between Deck 5 and Deck 8, which is the Central Park area. While we take our slow elevator ride, I'll give you a little bit of the statistics on the Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas. It was built in 2018, and due to the pandemic, is still a fairly new ship. It is Oasis Class, which is the largest class of cruise ships at sea. It is 1,184 feet from the front to the back, or the bow to the stern. It's 228,000 tons. Across 18 decks. Passenger capacity is 5,518 at double occupancy to a max of 6,680 people, along with 2,200 crew. There are almost 9,000 people that can possibly be on the ship at one time. The ship, when we sailed on it, was at capacity. I don't know the exact passenger count, but it was full. What I will say is it did not feel crowded at any point. Even though it was quite a few people on the ship, it is large enough and they have enough going on that you never really felt overwhelmed. Now, I will say that Angela and I did do the key, which included lunch at Chop's Grill on embarkation day. We plan on doing a separate video on that, but that really was nice to avoid the crowds at the Windjammer on embarkation day, which is always a issue. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this video is a little bit different. We're going to take you through our week, but we're not going to show you everything. It's going to jump around a lot. I'm not going to show you dinner every night. But here, after dinner, we went to what is one of the most amazing things we've seen on a cruise ship. This is the Aqua Theater. The Aqua Theater is the aft of the ship. It's behind the boardwalk area, and they do several shows during the week of this production was Hero, which is kind of an Asian dance acrobatic high wire diving show. It was absolutely amazing. Now, the other tip I'll give you is that most of the shows on the Symphony of the Seas and Oasis Class ships require reservations. Sometimes you can get them in advance. Otherwise, when you get on the ship, try to connect to the Wi-Fi right away and try to reserve it. If not, you can go down to the box office. Another thing I'll tell you about the Aqua Theater is that during our sailing, a couple of nights it was canceled due to high winds and due to some rocking of the ship. As you can see, this is a pretty dangerous type of thing they do, and high winds would definitely create danger. So if you're going to book anything early in the week, book the Aqua Theater shows as soon as you possibly can for the earliest when you can. Another option is getting a Boardwalk View balcony towards the rear of the ship. That's the room that Angela and I booked, and there's actually a video up on the channel with a room tour of that and the way we were able to watch the show Hero from a balcony, which was really neat. So you can check that out. It's also on the channel. Here's just a little overview from our Boardwalk View balcony room that I mentioned. As you can see, it's a really nice view of the ocean and also of the area of the boardwalk. And I just want to show you a little bit of what it's like and the view that we had from the room. But again, please check out the full room tour video and you'll see the entire room. Now down here on deck 5 is the running track. This is an interesting one where most cruise ships have the running tracks up on the Lido deck or the deck above the Lido deck, that you kind of have mixed in loungers and people walking to bars and joggers. I'm kind of surprised that we've never seen more horrific crashes between joggers and people taking advantage of the drink package than we have. But again, this is a full running track down here. It was pretty empty. There are some things like ping pong tables and shuffleboard that you'll probably see. And also, as you go all the way forward, you walk up from deck 5 to deck 6. Deck 6 is the gym area with plenty of cycles and treadmills, exercise equipment. You generally won't find Angela and I in here, but they do have equipment for those of you that do like to work out and stay in shape a little bit and work off the unlimited food. Now we're going to walk you around the promenade deck here, or deck 5, as you would call it. As you can see, there's some seating areas. There's some stretching areas. There is the jogging track again. Now, one thing that when we were on the ship we had never thought about, and we watched one of our favorite channels is Cruising with Ben and David, and they mentioned how the one downfall to the Symphony of the Seas is there aren't a lot of ocean views. Now, obviously you have ocean view balconies, but the restaurants and everything all pretty much contained inside. The Royal Promenade does not have windows that open out into the ocean at all. And this is pretty interesting. They have some motivational stuff up on there for people that are jogging or running. And even the promenade deck here, it's kind of the lifeboats are blocking, and there's just not a whole lot of areas where you can see the sea. This is the back of that promenade deck, and there's also an area in the front where you can see the sea pretty clearly. I thought this was kind of an interesting and very random garden there. But again, this is on the Promenade deck, and as you can see, you can continue on the running track, or you can make that kind of hook the right turn and end up by the Aqua Theater on the deck above. Also, as you can see here, there's a shuffleboard court. Didn't seem to get much use, but it is there. For dinner that night, we ate at Hooked Seafood. We're not going to show you a lot of that. We may put another video out of the specialty dining and the restaurants that we did eat in on cruise ships. But again, to try to keep this within reason, we ate here. The food was very good. It was a little more casual than we were expecting. It wasn't like a Rudy's Sea Grill type of thing. It was definitely more of a casual specialty restaurant for seafood. We enjoyed it, but it was a little bit more casual than we were expecting. And I just thought this was a really neat view of the elevator shafts from the top of the ship looking down. I'll take you to deck 16 now. We're looking down on deck 15. That pool right there is a sports pool. There are several pools on the ship, which we'll show you throughout the video. But right now, we fast forwarded to the next day, and Angela and I are going to get some breakfast at the Windjammer Marketplace. The Windjammer Marketplace is Royal Caribbean's buffet. Like I said, we try to avoid it on embarkation day as it generally gets pretty crowded. But other than that, it's very good for breakfast. And as you can see also, they have a little bit of fun here with the hand washing station. Going to show you around the Windjammer Marketplace a little bit here. As you can see, that station has juices, water, coffee, teas, iced tea, and lemonade, which are all generally included, and you do not require any type of beverage package for those. And again, they're available throughout the day. As we walk you around the Windjammer Marketplace, we'll give you a couple of tips that we found over the time. Generally, I like to order omelets to order. I usually get a ham and cheese omelet. They do things a little bit differently. Some cruise ships give you a beeper that when you order an omelet, you walk back and you get the omelet when it's ready. Other ones, they give you a little piece of paper and your waiter brings the omelet over to you when you sit down. I found that's been really, really good at avoiding lines in the buffet because usually that omelet station gets pretty jammed. Another nice alternative is the Park Cafe, which is located down in the Central Park area. You'll see a little clip of that later on, but that was kind of a quicker grab and go type of place, and they had some really good stuff, and it avoided lines, especially if you were getting out onto an excursion or want to make your way on shore on days that were in port. As we show you a little bit more of the food options, I'd like to ask you to hit that like button if you're getting value out of this. And also, please consider subscribing. We have a lot of videos up on the channel, and we have quite a few cruises planned for the rest of the year, which we will do videos on. Subscribing costs you absolutely nothing, and it really helps us out because it tells YouTube that they should show our video to more people. So we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out like that. So after breakfast, we walked outside, again on deck 16, and we'll show you around the outside decks. As you can see there, they're playing pickleball, which seems to be a pretty big thing these days. Almost all the cruise ships we've been on recently have had pickleball. Also noting that we will not be showing you Angel and I eating. Quite frankly, the last thing that I know I personally want to do is watch other people eating food and making strange faces about it. We'll give you our thoughts on the food in general, and we'll show you some of the menus and some of the stuff, but we don't show each other eating. We just think that's kind of odd. Now again, we're outside here on deck 16. We are aft, and we are walking forward of the ship on the starboard side. Now the starboard side is, as you're looking forward, the right side. The port side is the left side. The easy way to remember that is there are 4 letters in the word port, and there's 4 letters in the word left. Trust me, that's the only way that I can remember it myself. Like I said, there's several pools here. The pools on the aft portion of the ship are the sports pool and Splashaway Bay. Splashaway Bay is more of a kids type of pool. As you can see also, there is a hot tub area down there. There are several hot tubs located throughout the ship. And then technically there's 16 decks, but there's really 2 more decks that go up. Right here is the entrance up on deck 18. You can see to the water slide, which comes all the way down and kind of leaves you into a circling the drain type of thing before you stand up and get out. Continuing forward on deck 16. On this particular cruise, we stopped at St. Thomas, St. Martin, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay. On St. Martin, we visited Secret St. Martin. There is a video up on our channel on what we thought of Secret St. Martin. And I'll leave it for you to watch the video, as it probably wasn't our favorite resort in the world, but we did visit it, and we plan on doing videos on several videos probably on St. Thomas, walking you through St. Thomas and telling you some of the things we've done, and also on Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is one of our favorite private destinations that there is. Now let's talk about one of our favorite areas on the ship, which is the Solarium. Now you saw a little bit earlier during sail away, the wings that are above the bridge that you can look out onto the water at are located on the Solarium. We're on deck 16 right now. We're looking down onto the Solarium area, and we will be down there in a second, but just kind of showing you the overview of what it looks like. It's a glassed-in area. There is a bistro there. This is also an adults-only area. The Solarium Bistro has some a little more healthier options, I guess, for meals. I don't know if you can see the menu too well, but you can pull up the menu on your Royal Caribbean app, and the menus have actually changed a bit. I may talk about that a little bit later on regarding our thoughts on the menus and how the menus have changed on Royal Caribbean cruise lines. But now we're back down, like I said, on deck 15. We're going to walk you through the Solarium area. Now, a couple of thoughts on the Solarium area. It does tend to get fairly crowded. As you can see, there's a hot tub over there. There's hot tubs, I believe, on both sides that are just kind of located right outside the glassed-in area of the Solarium. The Solarium is glassed in. It's, again, 16 and above, adults only. They consider 17, 18-year-olds adults, apparently. And it does get kind of hot back there. So just be forewarned, it's a little warm and it can get a little bit crowded. So if you want to get there, as you can see right now, the chair game was not in effect. I believe I filmed this on the day that we were at St. Thomas. So it wasn't as crowded as it normally would be. But back here, as you can see, it's a really nice area. There's some interesting artwork back here. Really nice bar. The service at the bar was great. Let me tell you right off the bat, the service that we had on the Symphony of the Seas was fantastic. Room steward was great. The bar service was fantastic. The waiters at all the restaurants we went to were really, really good. We had no complaints on that whatsoever. Now, looking down, as you can see, there's not really... I don't think I would call it a pool. It's kind of a pool. It's not very deep. It's only a couple of feet deep. It does get kind of warm back here. There's a hot tub off on the side there as well. So you see, not many people in there as it does get pretty hot. So that pool was kind of refreshing, but it did tend to get a little bit crowded. So just beware of that. And then as you walk down another area, this is a beautiful spot here to relax on a lounge chair, read a book, have your coffee, have a drink, and just kind of look out on the water and relax. Now quickly, I'm just going to take you out here and show you how you get to those areas above the bridge that we were at for sail away. Again, you see you walk all the way forward and you walk out here, and this is also a great spot to be during your day. And obviously we weren't in port because there is no land anywhere near there. Not really sure why it was as empty as it was, but not complaining. We were able to get a seat that day, and it wasn't too crowded. This is a really nice spot. I will warn you, though, it does get a little bit windy, so you probably don't want to wear a hat or anything that's going to blow away when you're walking over here, especially when you're at sea. Now, also on deck 14, located inside and kind of behind the Solarium, is Adventure Ocean, which is one of the kids clubs that Royal Caribbean has. Also located over here is the Puzzle Break Center. That is a escape room. Angela and I haven't done one of those. We hear they're a lot of fun. If you've done one of these on a cruise ship or on land, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts were. Again, I don't know how difficult it is. I'm afraid I would probably be stuck in there forever trying to figure it out. But again, back here is the kids area. We are not going to show you much of this area, as we don't want to film any children. And if you want to see what the kids areas are like, Royal Caribbean has some really, really great information on that on their website anyway. Here on deck 7 is 7 of Hearts. 7 of Hearts is a quieter zone. They have computers. Obviously, you would need an internet plan to log in. There are some books there. It's a place where they have reading. You can sit there and relax kind of quietly. Real nice spot if you do need to work on the ship. There is availability there. It's be a great spot if you need some quiet places. They also do have printers. I believe there is a charge to use the printers. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I would definitely need to look into that next time, because I usually bring a portable printer with me for the travel agency business, but maybe I don't need to when I'm going on Royal Caribbean. Continuing downward on deck 12, we have the entrance to Wonderland. Now, Wonderland is a Alice in Wonderland inspired specialty restaurant. Angela and I have not eaten at Wonderland. Quite frankly, we are a little on the picky side as eaters, but it's definitely, as you can see, this is a funky Alice in Wonderland decor and a very unusual menu where, quite honestly, I'm not really sure what you're eating, so it's kind of not our style. But if you have eaten at Wonderland, let us know your thoughts. We've watched a bunch of videos on it, and again, it doesn't seem in our wheelhouse. We probably are pickier than we need to be. Beautiful area though, and really interesting, and it's supposed to be a really fun dining experience. Maybe we'll try it someday and then just go to the buffet afterwards. And here you can see the menu. So again, it's just kind of definitely a different menu than most restaurants are. Now we're going to take you down to deck 6, aft. Deck 6 aft is known as the Boardwalk area. This area is really neat. As you can see here, they have carousel horses showing you kind of the construction of them in various stages. There is a Zoltar, which is a real fun old arcade game, kind of creepy. As you can see here, they show you the different stages, again, of the carousel horses, from blocks of wood to being carved to fully painted. This area is really fun. It's reminiscent of Atlantic City Boardwalk or Coney Island. As you can see at the time here, they had some, like a carnival going on. They were giving out free cupcakes. They were charging for popcorn, though, I believe, which is a little bit on the odd side. But as you can see, it's just a lot of fun. They had games going on. There was a band playing kind of turn to the 20th century type of music. Yeah, and there's the popcorn stand, as you can see. A little odd, again, that they would charge for popcorn on a ship where you can pretty much get anything you want for almost free. But I guess some people will pay for it. There is a surf shack up here, which has not logo gear so much, but regular kind of clothing, surf type of clothing. There is Sugar Beach, which is where they have a lot of candy. Again, candy is additional charge. Here they did have cotton candy. They were free cotton candy, which that was a lot of fun. We enjoyed that. And yes, Angela and I took our turn on the merry-go-round. And definitely not a thrill ride, but it was a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed it. It's, again, just a different experience to be on a merry-go-round on a cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. Something you really don't get to do very often. Okay, just going to show you around a little bit more of the boardwalk area without the major show going on and some of the things going on back here. Johnny Rockets is one of their restaurants on board many of their ships. This particular one we really enjoyed. The breakfast here is complimentary. They do not charge for breakfast, but if you want to eat lunch or dinner there, there is an upcharge on it. It is very similar to the Johnny Rockets that you'll see, the old 50s style diner in your local mall or your local neighborhood. Again, we had breakfast here. We really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. We've done Johnny Rockets on the Independence of the Seas, and because of its location there underneath the basketball court, we really didn't care for it that much, but this one was really good, and we had a great time eating here. And here you go. There's the breakfast menu that shows the options. And again, most of the things, there's a couple of things that are additional. The breakfast burger is a little bit additional at breakfast, but generally that's included. And your lunch and dinner options, which again are really good, they are an upcharge. Also located in the boardwalk area across from Johnny Rockets and right near the Aqua Theater is Playmakers. Playmakers is Royal Caribbean's sports bar and arcade. They do show many of the various football, baseball games on screens, both inside and outside, so you could kind of grab your drink and sit outside if you wanted to, watching the screens. They have plenty of seating, some really comfortable areas. Really nice decor. This was early in the morning. It was not open yet. From here, we'll take you down to the Royal Theater, where they had the musical Hairspray was shown while we were on our cruise. The Royal Theater is basically 2 decks, I would say, a balcony area. Beautiful theater. We really enjoyed it, and Angela really enjoys the show Hairspray, and especially all of the production Broadway musicals that they have on board. Again, this is a show that you're going to want a reservation for, though. Okay, so we're here watching Hairspray. Angela's dragging me to this. Do you think I have a lot of interest in Hairspray these days? We'll let you know how the show is, though.
Use Hairspray and tell your mother her head she should smother with ultra straight for me.
Angela and I actually both really enjoyed Hairspray. The cast was great. If you're a Broadway purist, it may not be your favorite. The production shows obviously can't go as long as a Broadway play does, but we thought they really did a really good job on this, on the Symphony of the Seas. Now, if Broadway production shows are not your cup of tea, you would probably enjoy the Ice Show. This is in Studio B. Studio B also serves as a venue where they do laser tag and some other things, but this particular show was 1977. It was a throwback show commemorating Queen Elizabeth's 50th anniversary in 1977. The show itself was fantastic. We really enjoyed the ice shows, the production value, and the skill that these artists all have, especially considering that it's on a moving, rocking cruise ship. And we really enjoy the ice shows. And again, this is one you'll need a reservation for as well. I want to show you something that's kind of neat on Royal Caribbean's ships. They have the Wayfinder. This one's on deck 15, and it's like a big iPad type of thing or app where you can hit some of the buttons and it'll show you where you are, what's going on, and wayfind is to where you may be going or different locations on the map. As you can see, Angela's demonstrating there. It gives you the temperature, where we are at the day. Tomorrow was perfect day at Coco Cay and a beautiful 82 degrees. Now, also I want to show you something kind of interesting here is also on deck 15, they have these toiletry, tech, and health essential vending machines. Very interesting. They are essentially huge vending machines. Rather than having them in the store, you can get things like headphones and, chargers for your iPhone. They sell sunscreen, various different medical items you might need as well, personal care items, Tums, Band-Aids, basic toiletry items. Quite frankly, I don't remember the pricing of these, but I don't think it was great. I did try it out as I happened to need shaving cream, and it was pretty easy to use. Again, sail and sign card, charge right to your account, goes into that little conveyor thing, and comes right out below. You grab it, and there she is. Also up here on deck 15 is another arcade area. This one is probably more geared towards kids, but it is a additional cost on anything in here. They can use their sail and sign cards to get credits, so parents, watch your kids sail and sign cards before you get a big surprise. Now, outside here on deck 15 aft is El Loco Fresh. El Loco Fresh is on some Royal Caribbean ships, not all. It is on the Symphony of the Seas, as you can see. It is a quick service, grab-and-go Mexican offering. They have tacos, quesadillas, burritos. This is delicious. All kinds of sauces. One of our favorites. We always stop here when we are on a Royal Caribbean cruise for either lunch or breakfast. They do breakfast as well. I think at this point they were serving breakfast, so breakfast burritos and eggs and things like that. But El Loco Fresh is one of our favorites, and unfortunately it's not on every Royal Caribbean ship, but it was on the Symphony of the Seas, and we definitely took advantage of that. And they also had plenty of seating in the back here. Now, like the Windjammer Cafe, I'll warn you, when people come back from excursions, this tends to get very crowded. This is that sports deck on deck 15. You saw it earlier in the video. We're going to walk back now towards the Flow Rider. As we walk you through, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, sticking around. I know it's a lot longer than we normally do, but there's just so much information that I want to give you, and there's so much to show you on this ship. So again, thanks for watching it. If you do like this content, please hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe, costs you nothing, and you will get notified when we post new content. Now back here would be my son-in-law Michael's favorite spot, which is the Flow Rider. They actually have two Flow Riders on the Symphony of the Seas, one on the port side, one on the starboard side. They have instructors that help you, and they give lessons during the week. This can be somewhat dangerous. People do get injured on these things sometimes, so go at your own risk. But again, this is something, if you're into surfing or you've never thought about trying surfing, it's a lot of fun. And they do have safety people there trying to help you out and teach you what to do. Definitely for the young, not for Angela or I and our age. We break a hip, it'd be all over. Now this scary looking thing here is the Ultimate Abyss. The Ultimate Abyss exists on all Royal Caribbean's Oasis Class ships, the Symphony of the Seas being no different. It is a dry slide. As you can see, they give you these mats, and it goes from up here on deck 15, and then you slide down a dark tube, and you end up all the way down on deck 6, right near the boardwalk area. I guess if you are up here and you're doing the flow rider and decide you need a quick drink at the sports bar, the Ultimate Abyss is the quickest way to get there. Now again, here on the other side, you see there is another flow rider, and on to the next thing that is probably something Angela and I won't be doing anytime soon, which is a zip line. As you see here, the zip line goes from the complete after the ship from the port side across to the starboard side, going above the boardwalk area. They clip you in, it's very safe. No problems, but again, probably not something Angela and I are doing. Would you do a zip line at sea? Let us know in the comments below. Personally, I can think of better things to do. Continuing on deck 15, over here is the miniature golf. Miniature golf's always a lot of fun. Angela punch buggy, no backsies on the van. But we haven't done mini golf. Probably something we might do on a cruise coming up very soon. We have several cruises coming up over the summer. Might be a good thing we're going on the Caribbean Princess in a few weeks. Might be something fun to try on that. Here's the living room. The living room is, we went in here, there was nobody hanging out. This was the teens kind of club hangout area. Now, one thing I'll mention about kids on cruise ships is they want no part of the kids club. And then they go up and meet up with some friends, and then you never see them again, and you're lucky if they show up for dinners. Kids always have a great time on cruise ships. And here on decks 9 and then on deck 8 is Dazzles. Dazzles is a bar venue where they have various music and entertainment going on at night. And also they do things during the day such as trivia or enrichment talks, certain meetings. There's a lot of spaces on the Symphony of the Seas, so they do hold various events. Here I believe it was a talk with the entertainment staff that was going on. Again, look at your the app. There's just constantly things going on a cruise ship. Now we're on deck 8 again. This area is in the Central Park area of deck 8. This is the Park Cafe that I was talking to you about. This was really good for breakfast and lunch. They had some good breakfast sandwiches, pretty quick. The line was not long there. Good coffees, and also they had various lunch offerings as well. So this is something that didn't get too crowded. A great spot to pick something up to eat. Highly recommend it. And there's plenty of seating out in the Central Park area. Really quiet. Just a very nice, serene area, as you can see here. Walking from the Central Park area from one end to the other, on the left here is Chops Grill. Chops Grill is another additional charge restaurant. It is their steakhouse offering. And over on the right here is what the entrance would be to the Rising Tide Bar. The Rising Tide Bar, when it comes up to deck 8, those glass doors will open. Now, the other thing that's interesting about Central Park is they have arborists on board, or horticulturists, or I'm not sure what they call them, but there are staff. These plants are all live. These are not fake plants. They are live growing plants that are, it's just really interesting. It's beautiful. It's a peaceful area. As you can see here is a trellis bar. It's a really nice spot. They have some specialty restaurants here as well. Again, this is just beautiful and calm, and somehow they have completely transformed that you don't even know you're on a cruise ship. It is just amazing. It's almost like Disney does, how Disney has an ability to just kind of just transform you someplace else that you really forget where you're at. When you are in the Central Park area of the Symphony of the Seas, it is like no place you've ever been. In fact, we are going to be going on the Allure of the Seas next year with a group that we're running, also retired police officers like myself. And we are going to do one of these Central Park balconies to see what that's like. Another one of the specialty restaurants located in this area is Jamie's Italian. That is, again, not included. It's an additional charge. You can get dining packages that include multiple nights or even unlimited dining packages. They're a little difficult to get. You should order it quickly. Another reason to book your cruises far in advance, get to know the app, and book early. Now coming up here is Vintages, which is their wine bar. This was a very popular spot, particularly at night when it's dark and they have lighting going on. Very calm, very nice place. I'm not a big wine person. My daughter Caitlin would probably absolutely love Vintages. Just take a couple of seconds here to show you the insides of the restaurants and a quick look at the menus of the especially restaurants that are on this level. Here we have Jamie's Italian. Again, really nice restaurant. Italian is one of our favorites if we're doing specialty restaurants. Number 1 and 2 for us is generally going to be the steakhouse or the Italian restaurant. Now here is 150 Park. This is a very upscale restaurant, 150 Central Park. This one is definitely fancier, had a fancier menu. I think the additional charge on this was a little bit more than the other ones, but definitely a more, of all the specialty restaurants on board the Symphony of the Seas, this one was the most upscale of all of them. One other thing that we thought was kind of neat with the whole Central Park area is that they had umbrellas outside that you could use. So if it was going from one end to the other and it happened to be raining out, you had umbrellas you could use, and then just you would drop it off outside the other restaurant. Going to take you down now and walk you through the Royal Promenade. Again, if you stuck around with this video, we really appreciate it. It means the world. The feedback we've gotten on this channel and the ship review videos we've done has just been phenomenal. As you know, this is not my main gig. I am not a video producer, a videographer, or a voice actor, or anything like that. But it's been really rewarding, and people have been very, very kind. Off on the right there, you saw the Bionic Bar. That is interesting. You order from a robot. You put your room key down. It mixes the drinks up for you and then serves them to you. Honestly, there's a video up on the channel we did a while back on a different cruise ship. Not a huge fan of the Bionic Bar. I think the human bartenders do a far better job on the ship. Punch Buggy No Backs is again Angela. That is interesting. A Volkswagen rolled up into a ball. On the left there was Cafe Promenade. They have things like teas and coffees and little sandwiches, small plates that you can get. The Royal Caribbean logo shop is there. You can get your t-shirts, hats, mugs, different things that are related to the cruise ship there and other items. Sorrento's on the right is the pizza place, late night pizza, which, as everybody that knows me, I refer to it as second dinner. Soak up the alcohol before you start another day. On the left was the Irish pub, the Copper Kettle. It's called different things on different ships. And there is Angela at her favorite spot, which is the t-shirt sale. Usually, at least once on every cruise, they have pretty good sales on t-shirts. Now in this area of the Royal Promenade, they have different things on sale every day. Watches, alcohol, cigarettes, gold by the inch. You can see they have different t-shirts, all kinds of shops in this area that you can get duty-free items, tax-free items. Sometimes they're good deals, sometimes they're not. It's definitely something where you should, before you purchase anything, really think about it, do your research, make sure that you're really getting something that is of a good value. On the left there is On Air. On Air, they had karaoke, a lot of game shows, some trivia. That tend to get pretty crowded, especially for trivia. As you know, that's always a very popular thing on cruises in general and Royal Caribbean cruises specifically. Across the way is Bolero's. Bolero's is their Latin club. Great mojitos there, great drinks, fun spot. Angela and I found ourselves there quite a bit for pre-dinner or after-dinner drinks. Again, great music, great vibe. There is a Starbucks on board. Starbucks is not included with your drink package. They do have different sales time to time. I won't go into specifics on that because it is constantly changing. And again, we're walking back the other way on the Royal Promenade so that I can just show you a little bit more of the things that they have here. Again, plenty of shops, plenty of ways you can spend your money on a cruise. But again, you really don't have to. If you don't want to do the shopping, you don't want to do casino or bingo or art auctions or anything like that, the regular dining is delicious. And it's just a good time. You could do as much or as little on a cruise vacation, which is something that I really appreciate. Here's Copper and Kettle. Again, this is the English pub. Usually at night they would have a singer, guitarist playing over there in the corner. A lot of fun, real nice place to hang out for a couple of pints. Very good beer selections here as well. Again, one of the spots that I kind of found myself in if I wasn't up at the Schooner Bar. Now let's talk about dining a little bit. We went on this cruise before Royal Caribbean changed their menus. Now, the new menus, they've eliminated a lot of the classic choices that used to be on the menu every night, and they've made it more, the selection is a little more limited, and they have specialty nights. We were on the Independence of the Seas recently. We thought the food was very good. The choices were a little bit limited. Service was great. Ernesto was a great waiter. And here we just want to talk to you a little bit about the food in general. We enjoyed it. Here is Izumi. That is their Japanese hibachi and sushi restaurant as well on board. Again, no shortage of specialty restaurants on board. If you are doing a 7-night cruise, getting their unlimited dining package, if available, might be something you might be interested in, especially if you want to try different things out. Now we're on to dining. I just want to show you a little bit of the nighttime buffet up in the Windjammer. Usually Angela and I will do the buffet one night if we don't feel like getting dressed up, maybe had a long excursion day, and just kind of want to grab something. Food was pretty good up there. Hamburgers, hot dogs. Usually they have very similar things on the menu in the buffet that they do in the main dining room. Again, like I said, usually once a cruise, we'll go to the buffet and just kind of, take it a little bit easier than having a sit-down formal dinner every night. One other thing to mention while we are on dining, if you do have a special diet, gluten-free diet, any type of food allergies, any special needs or requests, definitely let your travel advisor know. That way they can let the ship's staff know ahead of time, and also let your waiter know when you're on board. They're very good at helping out with specialty requests as far as dining is concerned. Now, if you have a soda package, they have Freestyle Coke machines. You will get a mug with a RFID chip on it, and you can use these soda machines. They have probably about 150 combinations of soda and Gatorade and things like that. And that's a nice thing to add on to your cruise. Now, coming up is a really neat thing, which is unique to the Symphony of the Seas, the piano staircase.
Seriously?
Angela, take it away. Take you back to deck 6. This was all last night on the cruise. It definitely went short. On deck 6 is the shore excursion desk, the loyalty desk. As you can see, there's the photo studio where you can purchase your photos taken during the week, frames, things like that. And then also my personal favorite, the Schooner Bar. Again, we'd like to thank you for watching this video. We really appreciate it. I was able to get it down to just over 50 minutes, which I think is pretty good. A lot of information, a huge ship. Our thoughts on the Symphony of the Seas. If you are looking for a lot to do, the Symphony of the Seas is the ship for you. Definitely longer itineraries. I would select something with a lot of sea days because there's just so much to do and so much to see on the ship that it is just, I don't want to say overwhelming, but just you can't do everything. We did not get video of the casino area at all. I'm sure there's areas of the ship that we missed. We had a great time, a fantastic time. Again, beautiful ship. Even though it was full and at capacity, we never felt crowded. Royal Caribbean does a really good job of having different events going on at different places to kind of keep the crowd split up. As again, on the other side there is the Schooner Bar. A lot of trivia is there. We were lucky enough with our friends Gene and John to win a couple of trivia contests on the last cruise we were on. Always a lot of fun. We got our medals. In closing, Angela and I would absolutely cruise on the Symphony of the Seas again. We can't wait to get on the next Oasis Class ship that there is, that we sail on. We love cruising in general. And again, thank you for watching the video. We appreciate it. If you've gotten value, hit that like button. It really means the world to us. If you have cruised on Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas, let us know your thoughts. And again, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. So, on behalf of Angela, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.